Oh man.
Do you know him? No, I don't.
But yeah, so I would hope, because Mr. Echo is one of my favorite characters all the time, but I wouldn't hope too much.
Why do you think they put him on the box just to get people to...
In hope.
I think they wanted him. Because that, you're talking about the one where they're all there and then Locke has his back towards them, that picture?
I'm pretty sure it's just the new Blu-ray or in the DVD.
Mm-hmm.
Like I tried, I'm pretty sure it's Mr. Echo on there.
But I mean, is it that same image where they're all with their backs? Yeah. So I think because they had that last year at Comic-Con and they were still working with all the actors trying to get them all there. You know, because that was something they were trying to do the entire season as far as I knew. So yeah, so. I highly doubt there's going to be Mr. Echo, which is sad. Next question, over here.
Hi, my name is Bob.
Bob?
I understand that it was a closed set, I believe, the scene between Christian and Jack.
Mm-hmm.
What did the other actors believe they were in the church for?
Well, on the call sheets, or for that scene, it was called Son and Jin's Wedding.
Yeah.
But from what Jorge's told me, I think it was on he came on our show and talked about it too.
Well, they had doubles dressed as Son and Jin walking around
in wedding tux and wedding dress. So that was kind of the diversion.
That might be sitting outside in the rain.
It worked.
Yeah. And so did you think it was a...
One of the gals, she said, I swear I saw someone in a wedding dress with dark hair.
Did it get around that this scene was being called Son and Jin's Wedding?
No.
No? Okay.
But definitely just the coming and going as cast.
Really?
I heard about the dress too, and I thought it might have been Locke and Helen.
Yeah. Which I was bummed Helen just wasn't there. Because, I don't know, I always rooted for those two.
And we didn't see Desmond and Penny's date.
Who's that?
When they went, they have that great encounter at the stadium. And even
Oh, that's right.
That seemed like a great payoff for them,
Yeah.
but that didn't happen.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe they had it, but they just had to cut it for time.
The episode.
But back to so then, I believe, from what I've heard from all the different interviews and talking to Jorge, some other people, is that Damon and Carlton were there and they offered to give them the answer. And I think Jorge said, he's like, no, I think I'm good. I think I got it. But I think they did. Darren Kim said...
He made it this long. He made it
Darren
6 years
Kim.
because he's going to go.
Yeah. Yeah, Darren Kim said that Damon Carlton explained it to him. And I think Jack Bender explained to Jorge, too, what it was even before they got in that room. But I think they maybe had a suspicion for what it was. But yeah, so that's how they knew the last scene. But even then, yeah, it was very close set, very tight-lipped. Because some people like to get the answers.
Just him though, not me.
Jen, how did you do it the last season? I mean,
Well, the big spoiler, the end of the candidate, I didn't know anything about that, luckily.
really?
He didn't say anything on the show, and he didn't tell me. So, I was sort of spoiler-free. Not completely, but all the big ones, he just, he was kind enough not to tell me.
Well, the end of the candidate, boy, that was a rough night. I mean, she was completely beside herself and just stomped upstairs.
Really?
It's like, well, I guess we'll be recording later. But it was heart-wrenching. Powerful scene, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, we got two. We got right here. Yeah, no, it's okay. It's what Lost does. What's right here with the watches?
Yeah.
Is that like the Doc Brown type thing?
Okay.
What's your name?
Anthony.
Anthony. Okay.
I forget which episode, but when Walt and his dad left on the boat because they let Jack and Hugo in, and then they left. But in the more future when Desmond couldn't leave, like why?
Because Ben actually gave Michael the proper heading to leave.
Gave him the course.
He gave him, yeah, exactly. Desmond never had that information, so he was stuck in going around in circles, or always coming back to the island, which stunk for him. Back here. Yes, you.
Josh, again, another question regarding possible theories and speculations I've read. that in 2012, possibilities of being back on the island, not the same characters, but maybe sort of trying to reimagine the show a little bit. There's been some theories because this is an epic story that we're living in a time where nothing is over.
It's just, from what I know, Damon Carlton, they're done.
They're done. I've heard that.
And as far as I know, Jorge said he might take it depending on what it is. But I think 2012 is too soon. Like I think we need there needs to be some time to digest and process.
If they think they can make money on it, they'll
do it. But I think the Ben and Hurley dynamic is really great, and I'd love to see that story. Yeah, but I think there needs to be some time. I think there needs to be some time to digest. I love the next Star Trek: The Next Generation. I thought it was great, and I love maybe something along those lines. But at the same time, what if like TNG came like a year or two after the original series? I mean, it wouldn't have had the same impact. So I feel that it needs more time. What do you guys think?
It would take a long time.
I think we're attached to the specific characters, especially like, for example, just the Jack arc. But I also think that, of course, the way they wrote it, the way that it turned out, that basically all of Lost was one cycle from of Jacob. That it is sort of a cyclable idea for the next generation, for the next turn through, but probably not in the next few years.
Yeah.
Although you're right, though, ABC sees a lot of value in the property. I mean, I can see a Saturday morning cartoon, all sorts of things.
Smokey the killer. It's Smokey the killer. Yeah.
I would be open to it. No, not the Smokey the Killer. I'd be open to it because I was a big fan of the original Battlestar Galactica. When the BSG came out, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna, how're they going to improve this? And I bought it, and then finally everyone goes, oh, you got to watch it. Everyone at Comic-Con, you got to watch it. And so I watched it, and I said, oh my God, what a great show. So it just depends on if they could do it. I mean, it's a big risk because there are shows like you were at the Hawaii Five-O panel. I can't wait for it. I mean, I was a fan of the original Hawaii Five-O, and what we saw yesterday. I told Jay, let's podcast about it.
And they kept the theme song in.
And the theme song sounds great.
And that's the best theme song in the history ever.
And that's the thing, is I think it really would need the right kind of people to tackle it, and that's why we did press interviews with the people from Hawaii Five-O, and that'll be up on the site. But just listening to them and the way they're talking about it at the panel too, you could tell this property was in the right hands. And I think, Ryan and Jen, I mean, do you feel Hawaii Five-O is in the right hands?
Yeah, and I think, again,
it's
the people behind it that's going to make it, and if they have internalized sort of a reverence for the source material, then it's going to pay off. I mean, the start of Battlestar Galactica was very, rocky for them, but because they had it within them, sort of an understanding of what they were going to do, I think they did very well. It's a fantastic series. So Hawaii Five-O, the same thing. ABC held on to the film studio in Hawaii, and they're going to be doing sort of an off-season medical drama there in the jungles of wherever they're supposed to be. So people have already asked me, do you think that's a stealth spin-off and that the doctors are going to start getting picked off by the smoke monster? So I
don't know. What I'd like to see...
Smokey MD.
I'd like to see maybe a mini-series of before Mother got there. And just go back and answer the questions that way, and just do like a 3-day, and just do that, like 6-hour miniseries, and then you go back and you can answer the questions that way, and I think that would satisfy most people, because, how did Mother get there? What made her so crazy?
Why does she speak with an English accent?
Right.
Yeah.
It would be just like them to spring something like that on us, though.
But I would watch it.
I would too.
Yeah, we'd all watch it. We'd complain, but we'd watch it.
If it was horrible, it would be done. I would.
And I think ABC has to realize that is you sure you can make a lot of money, but if you mess it up, you're going to kill the goose that lays the golden egg.
Or it makes the original look better.
What I want is a theme park in Hawaii.
That would be great. That would be great.
I mean, Disney is out there. They're building a new resort. There should just be a wing for Lost.
Well, that's the big rumor. Where did I read somewhere? But they're thinking Orlando now somewhere and adding something there, because I know the original rumor was Tom Sawyer Island, and we had Tad Stones, who was actually a Disney Imagineer, people who make the rides. He worked on Epcot and everything, and he said to put a ride on Tom Sawyer Island would be a disaster because the only way you get to Tom Sawyer Island is by taking the ferry or whatever, the canoes and stuff like that.
No, the canoes just go around.
The canoes go around, but you know the little raft ferry
Canoes
thing.
are on a track.
So.
That's a joke.
We did the canoes that one time. That was exhausting. But yeah, so I would love to see that. But Hawaii's even better. I think that's a better idea. Gives an excuse to go there.
You need an excuse for Hawaii.
Sometimes. It's Sunday. Let's go to Hawaii. Why? Lost theme park.
Okay.
All right, right here.
Do you know anything about rumors of maybe Damon working with Stephen King on like a Dark Tower miniseries?
Yeah, I've heard those rumors, but as far as I know, Damon's pretty tight-lipped about it. I mean, do you know anything else?
I just heard rumors.
Right.
Turned it over to somebody else.
Did they?
Did they?
I don't blame him, quite honestly. Yeah, it is. It is, and yeah, I don't blame him for turning that over. I think Damon's busy with the new Star Trek, which I'm very excited about. Because JJ's the man. He's the man. Right here?
How do you all feel about the final Emmy Love? Jack Bender finally got his
Mhm.
nomination for the Anne.
Yep.
The Anne finally got it. Elizabeth Mitchell, way overdue for her Juliet role.
Elizabeth Mitchell.
A weak shout out
Yeah.
for a guest starring role, but still, she should have gotten it for last year.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Yeah, I thought that was great. Yeah, Matthew Fox being Emmy nom.
I'm torn on that one because I'm kind of rooting for Kyle Chandler of Friday Night Lights.
Me too.
And
Where are your loyalties?
hey,
I just happy he got the nod,
Yeah.
especially probably the strength of his performance in the very last episode.
Mhm.
I mean,
which was just
it doesn't
so
matter
amazing.
if either one wins, I'll be happy. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, I'm excited that they're nominated, and I hope it is a Lord of the Rings, you know, type of thing. The last one, they'll get their
I really thought
It
due.
would bookend the series.
It would. It would also. Yeah, it would book
they
it.
could have got more nominated. I mean, Jorge could have got nominated.
I think Corey should have gotten nominated.
He could have swept over the whole.
I mean, from where he started season 1 is the comic relief, and to the end, season 6, he's making us cry.
And you make me cry too,
Yes.
just by looking at you.
Even though we know he was laughing. We know he was laughing on that one scene.
Jack Bender, I was really happy to see. He should have gotten
Yeah.
very constant. I think a lot of people can agree with constant.
Oh, the constant, of course.
And Giacchino too.
Giacchino got nominated.
That would go with his Oscar for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, I'm glad they did, and I'm really rooting for him. I'm also glad Jay Leno got snubbed. Amen. Amen. But yeah, I am excited. Hope they do win. Next question, right here.
This might be putting you on the spot, but I was wondering if you guys could give me a favorite scene now that it's all over.
The whole
Ever?
series?
Yeah.
All of them.
All of us. Okay, I'll start. There's a lot, but I think I would have to say the constant when he's sitting there and the phone's ringing and it's just like so much suspense, and then it's just it's like pick up the phone, and then when it's like cutting back and forth, the editing in that scene's amazing, the directing's amazing, the acting's amazing. It's just one of those pivotal scenes that I think is beautiful, and I was crying like a baby because I'm a girl.
Yeah, he wasn't insulting the girls here at the end.
I'm saying that women are more in tune with their emotions. But I think that for me, I mean, I have a lot, but if I'm gonna say one, I'll say the constant, that in scene where they're both on the phone and she's saying, "I love you."
Mine was probably the one with Kate in season 1. She's on the beach and she's not really wearing anything. And I cried a little bit too.
I'll never have that.
Exactly, that's what I'll do. It's tough to pick a favorite scene. I was the scene James described. Probably the final scene where